going on at Sushi?
Well, I do this every year, and I want to start with an all-new toast to our host, Mr. Bruscia. And I've said this before, and I'm sure most of you will agree that he could possibly be the most interesting man in the world. He once won the World Series of Poker using Uno cards. His passport requires no photograph. He once started a fire using dental floss and water. Presidents take his birthday off. He once won a staring contest with his own reflection. His 2 cents is worth $37 and change. His words carry weight that would break a less interesting man's jaw. If he were to mispronounce your name, you would be compelled to change it. When he has a 50-50 shot, the odds are 80-20 in his favor. He's never had to make a reservation for Valentine's Day. His former landlord uses him as a reference. He once turned a vampire into a vegetarian. When it's raining out, it's because he's thinking of something sad.
Start thinking.
He divorced his wife because he caught her littering. And here's one we're all familiar with. If you know the ending, you can just say it along with me. He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does... Anybody? Nobody? He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does, the whole world wishes they could have one with him. So why don't we do that right now? To Mr. Bruscia, the most interesting man in our world. And I'll end by a quote from the most interesting man in the world himself. I don't masturbate often, but when I do, I use women. Ooh, that was harsh. That was harsh. That was really harsh. That was sexually inappropriate, I know. Call the Me Too police. I know I violated your safe spaces right there. That was a microaggression, I'm sorry. You know? I mean, it's not like I'm not into the Me Too movement. It's good. I mean, it's bringing some they're bringing some big fish down, but you know, not all men are dogs, right? I mean, we all think like dogs, right? But we don't all act like dogs because God gave us a bigger brain than the dog. Otherwise, you know, at every cocktail party, we would all be humping every pretty girl's leg, you know. But we don't do that. Some people do that, and we all think that they're assholes. You know, Louis C.K. got called out for that, you know. He's like, oh, watch me, baby, watch me, baby. He's like, that's gross. You work for me, don't you? You want to keep working for me, you're going to watch, you know. That's fucked up. Everyone would agree with that, you know. But it's not like every man is a dog. And, you know, no means no. Come on. I don't think so. Really? No, don't, no. No, don't, please. Which basically means, I really want you to fuck me, but I don't want you to think I'm a slut. Okay? So, you know, let's be honest about it, you know. But it is a shame that our heroes are falling, you know. Bill Cosby, I Spy. He's my hero. I love that show. You guys ever watch that show? Dun, 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 starring Robert Culp dun, dun, and Bill Cosby. You know, that was great. It's a shame. It is just a shame. The latest is like, you know, you wonder who's going to go down next, you know. The latest thing that I heard was on the set of Wizard of Oz back in 1939. This is a while back. You know, Tin Man is now alleging that Scarecrow sexually molested him. You know, grabbed his crotch, said, "Hey, you got that oil can? Maybe I'll give you a lube job a little later." You know, people asked him why he waited so long. You know, why didn't you say something earlier? It's been like 80 years. And, you know, it was the beginning of the movie, so he didn't have his brain yet. So you can give him that. You know, there's not much work in Hollywood for tin men. You can give him that, you know. I mean, has anyone ever been sexually molested by a scarecrow? That's pretty scary. I mean, you know, he was scared. But I have some friends that they say they're a feminist. I'm like, you're a feminist? Don't you have to be like a female to be a feminist? That's like me saying like, well, I'm a Black Panther. Yeah, I identify Black Panthers. No, I'm not a Black Panther. You're not a feminist. Feminist, you gotta be a female to be a feminist. But the point that I want to make is that you listen to the news and it seems like the world's going to hell in a handbasket. You know, it seems like everything's getting worse. But in reality, really, things are getting better. You know? Yeah. Like from the time when we were kids. How many of you here were born in the 50s or the 60s? Raise your hand. Okay, a lot of people, okay? So we're all from that generation. The younger generation, you know, they came into the world with a lot of stuff and a lot of things that we didn't have, you know? And it seems like everything's getting worse. But if you really compare, you know, like the poor people today, they have in America what kings and queens and emperors and rulers of the world didn't have, you know? If you take any king or queen or ruler of the world, no matter how rich they were, they didn't have a toilet to piss in. Okay, indoor plumbing is a recent invention. You know, it's running through your house with pipes that we didn't build. It's an amazing thing. Right now, all our food, wherever you came from, is sitting in your refrigerator right now, 38 degrees, waiting for you to eat it. It's an amazing thing. Your food in the freezer is in suspended animation, just waiting for you to consume it. So things basically have gotten better. Take, for example, when we were like, recently, how many of you recently stepped in dog shit? Not intentionally.
Tenderloin.
Okay, it's pretty rare. Okay? When we were kids, you know, if it was a group of 4 people, you go into the movies like, what the fuck, man? You know, you're in your car, like, who the fuck stepped in? We used to play stickball in the street, and cars would come by, and there'd be like shit in the street, and people walk their dog in the middle of the street, their car would come by, pop, 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 pop. You know, game over, you know? Dog shit in the street, you know? There was anyone ever heard of the fog man? When I grew up, there's no DDT being sprayed anywhere in America anymore. When I grew up, there was a truck that would come around in the summertime. Did anybody have this? Yeah. And it would spray fucking DDT out of the back of the truck. It would make a giant cloud, and we were like, the fog man's here! And we all get on our bicycles and run outside and follow this truck around, neighborhood through neighborhood, zero visibility, crashing into each other, breathing DDT. You know, that's gone. You know, we have amazing stuff today. You know, we have smartphones. There's smart everything. We have smartphones that, like, the crew of Star Trek would be, their minds would be blown by the communicators that we have today. You know, Spawn. 256 gigabytes, what is that? How do they do it? You know, it's true, Captain. A gigabyte is actually 1 million, a billion units of information being stored up in the sky. It's not the sky, Spock, it's the cloud. It's a metaphor, but your Vulcan brain can't understand that, can it? Bones, you're out of line. Scotty, can we make this thing? I can't do it, sir. We don't have the power. We don't have the technology. You know, what did we have? What did we have when we were kids? You know, my first communicator was 2 cups and a string. It's like, okay, you go over to the other end of the living room. Okay, now talk into it, you know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can hear you. I can hear you. This is amazing. And then we got walkie-talkies. Did anyone get walkie-talkies when they were a kid? We opened it up, you know, me and my brother got these walkie-talkies, we were so excited. We opened them up, We turned them on, they didn't work. It's like, oh fuck, battery's not included. Damn. Go in the drawer, see what kind of battery it takes, those square ones, the 9 volt. Okay, we got 2 of them, see if it's good. Hey Mark, touch it to your tongue. Oh, that's a good one. Put it in there. You know, okay, go around the house, go into the backyard, you know. I can hear you. You're breaking up. You must have gone more than 15 feet. You know, that's what we had. And rotary phones. You know, the rotary phone. It didn't matter how good you were at dialing it. It only went 1 speed. You try so hard to make it go more, but it wouldn't. It only went 1 fucking speed. And the cord would be all fucking tangled up, and you'd have to, you know, do this thing with it, you know? You can only walk like 6 feet, you know? Our social media was the party line. Did anyone have the party line? So, you know, a bunch of your friends go, hey, did you hear about the party line? No, what's that? This number you call, it's like 7644. You know, and you call it, it's like, shh, you dial it. And it's just an open line. And there's like 50 people. Like, hey, this is Robert, who's that? Anybody else? Hey, this is Susie and Chad. And this is, that was our social media. We actually met people that way, you know? But there's smart everything, you know? Now they got smart razors. They are razors with like 16 blades on them. And a special foam pad that, you know, gets your skin prepared before, you know, the first razor sends down an electric cryptic message. We know you're in there. You hair follicles. You don't stand a chance to come out with your hair standing on end. Easier to cut that way. Then 16 blades mow down the hairs. The last blade sends a final message. Go back to your relatives. And your friends tell them what you saw here today. So that you don't suffer the same consequences. You know, don't you dare come out. You know, what did we have? You know, injector razors. That was like the newest thing. They had the 2-blade thing. Then they came out with injector razors, so you didn't have to touch it. You know, after you shaved with an injector razor, it looked like you just encountered like a samurai warrior. Just went the fucking war on your face. It even had a what was that thing? It was like a razor stick. Remember that? Yeah. It was that white thing. You have all these fucking cuts on your face, and you'd stick that on there. Ah! You know, it looked like some amateur golfer, you know, took divots out of a golf course on your fucking face. You'd have tissue paper on there. You know, you're going to a meeting. So my point is, we should have some gratitude, you know, that how things have gotten better. I mean, when was the last time you ordered a pizza and you opened up the box and the cheese was stuck to the top of the fucking box? It's like, damn it! And you're scraping it off, you know? How long did it take you human beings to figure out, wait a minute, we could take one of those guys, like that table, and just shrink it down. Fucking put it in the box. And it's never gonna, cheese is never gonna be stuck to it. You know, we live in amazing times. What about the games we used to have? I mean, today, kids have games. They go online. They play World of Warcraft. They play people on the other side of their on the other side of the world. You know, you want to be a fighter? You get an avatar, right? And you give it a name, and it's got a power, and it spins and kicks, and it does all this amazing stuff. And you give it a crazy name, and you play people on the other side of the world. What did we have? Rock'em sock'em robots. You know? 1 point of articulation. Grab the handle, watch them battle it out. Goom, 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 goom. You knocked his block off. Just reset it. Start the next round. No?
Electric football.
Yeah. Oh! Took the words out of my mouth. Nowadays, you could, you know, set up a football league. You pick your own members and your teams, and it's just, you know, it's incredible. And we had electric football. There's a guy like this. And a guy like that. And then there's a center. 2-dimensional objects in a 3-dimensional world, stuck to a little piece of plastic, and you line them up on the board. It's the bottom of the 4th inning. I mean, 4th down. You know, seven down. 7 yards to go. They're lining up. And press the button. He's heading down the 10. He's getting to the goal line. Wait a minute. He's turning around. He's going the wrong way. Half the men are falling off the board. Whoa! Let's set it up and do it again. That was amazing. That's what we had. If you were lucky, your relatives would come over on a Sunday and you could play Twister. Oh, that was great. First thing you do is everyone takes off their shoes. That's great. Then you spin. Put red. Your hand on red. Hand on yellow. You know, there's Bobby's butt in your face. You know, there's a mini skirt I'm looking up. I'm getting hard on. Wait a minute, that's Cousin Susie. Now I'm throwing up. This is sick. And the TV shows, now you got, what, 2,000 channels? You can watch anything you want, anytime you want it, however many times you want to watch it. You know, if you wanted to watch The Wizard of Oz when we were kids, it came out once a year. If you were bad, you're not watching The Wizard of Oz on Sunday. It's like, oh, I waited all year. You know, you can watch, now you can watch whatever you want. You know, we had what? Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 5, Channel 7. Channel 9 was like the information channel, you know? Yeah, and there was Channel 11, which was, you know, had some old movies and stuff like that on it. And that was the very high frequency, the VHF. If you were lucky, if you had a good antenna and you moved it around a lot and you dialed in that little thing over there, you could get the UHF, the ultra high frequency. You know, you could watch Channel 13, catch up on Sesame Street, or go to Channel 44 and brush up on your Spanish. You know? That's what we had. And the TV shows that we had, I hated most of them because it was so limited, you know, the shows that you could watch. But you watched them to make fun of them. That's what I did, you know? What do we have, like Gomer Pyle? USMC, right? I think I'll join the Marines and have people make fun of me. And then that sergeant, Pyle, what are you doing in my Marines? What kind of name is that, Pyle? What are you a pile of? Pile of human feces, those are yours, sir. It's like, well, gee, Sarge, you don't have to make fun of people's names. You know, that's not polite. Polite? What do you know about polite? You homosexual? Well, gee, Sarge. It's not fun to make, you know, it's not right to make fun of people's sexual orientation. It's like, what century are you living in, Pyle? It's 30 years before Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Don't think because I didn't ask, I can't tell. I can. Go stand over there with Liberace. Get out of here. How about... Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Well, hi, Master. Your wish is my command. Man, you're fucking hot. Holy shit. So wait a minute, let me get this straight. You'll do anything? That's right, Master. That's a pretty hot outfit. So anything. That's right, Master. Oh, my friends are not going to believe this. Oh, my God. All right. For starters, you see that vacuum cleaner over there? Start vacuuming this living room. And when you're done, go upstairs and then do my laundry and do some grocery shopping.
That's all right.
My favorite show to hate was Petticoat Junction. Okay, think about it. Whoever made the show was definitely a pervert. What is a petticoat?
Undergarment.
It's an undergarment. And a junction? It's where two places meet. Come ride the little train. It's rolling down the tracks to the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
Lots of curves, you bet. Even more when you get to the junction. Petticoat Junction. Oh yeah. There's a little hotel called the Shady Rest at the junction. There's Uncle Joe. Oh, he's moving kind of slow at the junction. And who are the stars? Betty Joe, Bobby Joe, and Billy Joe. The three BJs. I am not making this up. Not making it up. I mean, we grew up, there were like Starbucks on every corner. You get like 50 flavors of coffee, cappuccino, frappuccino, mochaccino, this and that. We had two choices. Coffee flavored coffee or Sanka. That was about it. Okay? If you want a decaf, go with the Sanka. Right? And they had commercials on TV for chock full of nuts. Yeah. Remember that? Chock full of nuts is the heavenly coffee. And they have this beautiful lady sitting in her sun-filled room in the morning. The steam is rising from the coffee. She smells the aroma. There's a big smile on her face. The husband walks in. Hi, honey, good morning. What are you smiling about? Oh, I'm just savoring this chock full of nuts. This is real. The weed today? Oh my God. First of all, it's legal. Like, we dreamed about that when we were kids. Now they got vape pens and dabs and THC levels and CBD levels, and it's a whole fucking science. It's like, you go to these clubs and they got like unbelievable array of things, you know? When we smoked weed when we were a kid, you had to like get a hard hat on, your goggles, get the fire extinguisher out, because that was like a bowl of Rice Krispies when you lit that up. Snap, crackle, pop, shit was flying out of there. Take cover! Oh shit, you burned my parents' rug! It was all seeds and twigs. Buds didn't exist. Okay? You're living in amazing times, guys. Amazing times. You know, when I was 15, I decided to become a vegetarian. And it was like 1973 or something. Like, people looked at me like, what is a what do you mean you're a vegetarian? There was no food made for vegetarians. You just ate peanut butter and jelly. You know, that was like my staple. Now they have food for vegetarians. So I raised my kids vegetarians, but they had to one-up me. They had to become vegan. Because don't you know, Dad? We're the only species that drinks another animal's milk. That's just not natural. We're the only species that, yeah, I'll tell you why we're the only species that does that. Because we're the only ones that fucking figured out that you can fucking do that. Okay? And not only that, if we give that milk to a fucking cat, they go, holy shit! This stuff is fucking good, man. Where'd you get this? I haven't had milk since I was a little kitten. It's not natural. And nature's just overrated. It is. We're all like, oh, we're gonna go back to nature. So we spend our entire life avoiding nature. Okay? It's too hot, it's too cold, it's raining, it's too humid. We're here enjoying all this because we got this fucking building. We transformed nature into this. Okay? And these lights and this microphone and this and these drinks and the cigars, you know? Here's what's going on in nature. Okay? In a nutshell, rape. Okay? There's a pretty little doe down by the river. She's just drinking her little water, taking a little bath, looking all pretty, enjoying nature. It's so nice. Oh, wait, there's a buck. He's got something on his mind. Hey, little honey. You want to roll with me? Oh, no, I have a boyfriend. It's like, he doesn't care about your boyfriend. It's, come here, I give it to you, and that's it. It's like, but I didn't give my mutual consent. It's like, Cuddy, do you realize, the buck says to the doe, that humans are the only species that have mutual consent? That doesn't exist in nature, okay? It doesn't exist. Anyway, my message for all of you millennials is that we are in good times. Things are getting better. And it's good to have some gratitude. Yeah. Who's the gratitude? Yeah. I know a lot of, what's that?
The mutual consent is good too.
For humans, yes. I would have to agree. So a lot of people drove here. I drove here from Oakland. I see a lot of annoying bumper stickers. I fucking hate bumper stickers. I don't have bumper. Anyone have bumper stickers here? I don't want to offend anybody. Good. I don't have a bumper sticker that says, I fucking hate bumper stickers and the people that put them on their fucking bumpers. Right? Food, not bombs. It was horrible. We were going to a wedding. It's supposed to be a joyous occasion. And then all of a sudden, planes, they fly overhead. We were wondering, why are the Americans flying overhead? And then, all of a sudden, food starts falling out of the sky. 70-pound bags of flour, 80-pound bags of cheese. My son was killed by a 50-pound jug of peanut butter. He was crushed. Books, not bombs. We were at a wedding. It was supposed to be a joyous occasion. The planes came, the sky filled with books, pages flapping. My daughter was crushed by Encyclopedia Britannica. It's supposed to be for learning, and not the whole set. She was killed by one yearbook. 1975. It was a good year. Well, Vietnam War ended in that year. I love my pet. That's a bumper sticker. I love my pet. Well, that's good to know. Because, you know, when I drove up behind your Prius, I was thinking, does that person have a pet? And do they love their pet? But then when I drove up, I decided, you have a pet and you love it. We had a pet. I grew up with a German Shepherd. And my entire childhood, I was thinking, someday, this dog is going to figure out we're Jewish. And he's going to fucking kill all of us. It's just a matter of time. My dad survived the Holocaust, for Christ's sakes. And he buys a German Shepherd. What the fuck was he thinking? It's like, oh, it's the only dog he ever saw? They were everywhere. When he was a kid. I do a lot of driving in my job, and there's crazy signs in neighborhoods too. The one that annoys me the most is, drive like your kids live here. Okay. Hold on a second. You fucking little brats! I told you to put your toys away! That's how I would drive if my kids fucking lived here. Signs. Anyway, I wanted to ask you guys to say happy birthday to my mom. She's going to be 83. Yeah. Her name's Norma. Happy birthday, Norma. Say it to the camera right there. Happy birthday, Norma. 83. And I'm going to see them. They live in Fort Lauderdale. Me and Kishore are going next weekend. And it's fun to go back and kind of get back into that mentality of how they communicate to one another. My dad's 92, okay? He's totally deaf in one ear, totally deaf, has a hearing aid in the other ear, right? But he doesn't turn it on. Why should I turn it on, Mom? I'm gonna turn it on? I'm gonna hear her yell at me? Finally, I have some peace and quiet. It's good enough. He doesn't turn it on. My mom, he doesn't turn on hearing aid. Gotta yell everything. He doesn't hear. It's like, Mom. She just got him a cell phone for the deaf. Somehow it like magnifies the sound, you know? So when she's not there, he can hear it. And she has an iPhone. She just learned how to text. So I like text her. Hey Mom, what's up? 4 hours later. Dear Mark, comma, new paragraph. I am in due receipt of your last text from today at 12:45 p.m. Thank you for your signed, Mom, comma, love. It's like, Mom, it's a text. Okay. But the Jewish wives, they nag, you know? That's the stereotype of the Jewish wife. And my mom fits that my whole life. It was like when bell bottoms came out. Remember bell bottoms? That was another thing. It's like, who invented the bell bottoms anyway? Some guy going like, if I just had a little more room in the ankles. Wait. And I wanted a pair of bell bottoms. And Mom was like, now Mark, if I get you the bell bottoms, that's all you're gonna want to wear. You're not gonna want to wear anything else. I'm like, well, I hate everything you pick out for me, right? This is what I want to wear. But you know that doesn't make you look like enough of a dork. So you can't have those, you know. But the nagging Jewish wives is a funny story. An old Jewish couple, they go to Jerusalem on a tour. And the wife dies. And the husband's devastated. The rabbi says, you have two choices. You could send your wife back to New York and have her buried there for $4,000. Or you could have her buried here in Jerusalem for $400. Easy decision, right? The guy goes, I'll send her back to New York. He's like, why would you do that? It's $4,000, $400 here. He goes, look, a Jew was buried here a long time ago, right in this very spot. 3 days later, he rose from the dead. I can't take that chance. Just can't take that chance. Jews are funny people. They have traditions. Did you know that if you wanted to convert, it's a Jewish law that the rabbi has to say no twice? Rabbi, I want to convert. You want to convert? You want to be Jew? Yeah, that's what I want to do. You don't have enough aggravation in your life. You don't have enough guilt. You need a little bit more of oppression, more discrimination. Think about it for a week or two. Come back and ask me. But some people have done it. Sammy Davis Jr. Okay, he was one of the first that converted. Marilyn Monroe converted. You know she didn't have to ask 3 times. Definitely not. Hey, Rabbi, how about we go to the shul tonight and do a little conversion? Usually I say no a couple of times, but for you, you know, you're a nice girl. You're a nice girl, I make an exception, you know. But when Sammy Davis converted, most people don't know this, but back in the 40s, the 50s, there was a lot of discrimination against Jews. There were clubs that were exclusively no Jews, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So Sammy Davis Jr. converted somewhere, I don't know, in the 60s or something. And right afterwards, he gets on a bus in the South where there's still like Jim Crow. And the bus driver goes, get in the back. But I'm Jewish, baby. I'm a Jew now. It's groovy. And the bus driver says, you're a Jew, get off.
Get it, man.
Bada boom. See, most people know that there used to be a movement similar to Black Lives Matter, because what, Jewish lives don't matter? That was back then. Things are better now. Things are better now. But Jews, in order to avoid getting discriminated against, they would change their names. Would you buy a suit from, what was his name? Oh, would you buy a suit from Ralph Lifshitz? Yeah, I got an original. It's a Lifshitz. It says it right there. No, but you would buy a suit from Ralph Lauren. Yeah. Jew converted, changed his name, not to get made fun of, or discriminated against, Nowadays, it's not politically correct to make fun of people's names, but there's some names out there. I have a neighbor, he's from Bangladesh, and I'm like, hey, nice to meet you, I'm Mark. What's your name? He goes, deadpan, looks me straight in the eye, waiting for me to comment. More shit. And I said, what was that? More shit. That's his name, more shit. Don't you dare make fun of my name. This is America. We don't do that here. This is I have another friend, God honest truth. He's an Indian guy, and his name is Ash Fuck.
No.
ASHFAUQUE. Ash Fuck. That's what he goes by. You can call me Ash Fuck. But there's a lot of stereotypes about Jews. One of them is that they own everything. So these two Texans are on a plane, and they're sitting next to a Jew. And the one Texan says, "My name's Johnny. I'm from Dallas. Got 275,000 acres. Got 60 head of cattle. Got about 40 hogs. We call it Jolly Rancher Ranch." The other guy says, "My name is Roger. I live right outside of Dallas, Texas. I got 600,000 acres, 75 head of cattle, and a couple of hogs. We call it Roy Roger Farm." And the Jew goes, "My name's Mel. I live in Dallas. I have 15 acres. How many cattle you got?" "Oh, I don't have any cattle." "How many hog you got?" "Oh, I don't have any hog." "Weird. What do you call this place?" Downtown Dallas. Thank you.